Hear me clearly. America is not a racist country.
Men have been charged in connection with the erasure of a 39-year-old black man in Jacksonville, Florida. Ryan Nicholas, age 19, was charged Thursday with second-degree murder. Daniel DeGardia, age 18, and Holden Dodson, age 21, have been charged with accessory after the fact in the murder. A judge on Thursday advised DeGardia and Dodson that they have hate crime charges added to their offenses. The judge later told the outlet that, based upon the allegations that the three white men had been chasing the black victim for no apparent reason. However, law enforcement agencies have stated that there is no clear cut evidence of a hate crime. On May 2nd, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office was alerted to an unconscious individual and found the victim lying on the ground near a dumpster in downtown Jacksonville with an apparent wound. He was pronounced deceased by Jacksonville Fire and Rescue Department. Multiple shell casings were found in the area, and the dumpster had multiple bullet dents. Authorities have not yet released the name of the victim. During the course of the investigation, detectives found evidence that led them to a possible suspect vehicle in the area where the incident occurred. The report states that a suspect was observed chasing the victim and approaching him as the victim was trying to hide behind the dumpster before the suspect got into a vehicle and left the scene. Nicholas was ordered held without bail on Thursday. DeGardia is being held in lieu of a 503K bail, and Dodson is being held in lieu of a 203K bail, according to local reports. Now, it's amazing to me that you have these individuals, right? These true Americans. They were, out there at night, whatever. And there was just a random black male. And this guy was basically hiding directly from them, right? All three of them were part of the exact same scene, the exact same incident. All of them they made a coordinated effort, right? Only one person was injured, only one person was harmed, only one person is no longer here. And they also stated that there was a multitude of shell casings that were found directly from the scene. Now, to my recollection, I can't remember if they stated that they found the weapon that was used at the scene by the men, right? They stated that they ended up getting tips and they found a car, which then led them to the three that you see directly in front of you. I just want to say my condolences to the family. I'm not sure what specifically took place. I'm not sure how the circumstances even happened in a way for this event to even take place. But my condolences to the friends and the family of the black man who is no longer here. The shocking part is that they have such high bails, but realistically, the bails don't even mean anything at all because anything can happen. They can just decide to state that, hey, this guy was, acting erratic. He was acting belligerent. We were completely defending ourselves. We were fully within our right to defend ourselves, and that's exactly what we did. But even within that, right, there's three versus one. Then on top of that, they stated in the news article that the guy was hiding, he was taking shelter behind a garbage can. So even with a self-defense type story, it still wouldn't even make sense because again, you have three versus one, right? So the numbers were in their favor and against his. The main thing that I want to state to black people is that this is why you should stay ever so vigilant on where it is that you go, who it is that you deal with, the things that you are into, where you are at the moment in time, because you never specifically know who is watching you or what can potentially happen, just due to the fact that you are directly out there. Now, in the article, they didn't state that there was anything, let's say, stated during the incident. I mean, we wouldn't really know because the only other person that can state what took place is no longer here, and they made sure of that, right? So more than likely what's going to happen is that they're going to face a few charges. They're not going to face hate crime charges. And they're not going to face hate crime charges due to the fact that there is no real type of evidence that they can, like, there's no written statement, there's no type of audio or video evidence pertaining to or stating that, hey, this is the reason why they set up there and did it. They specifically went after him due to the fact of the color of his skin and, everything else like that. So this is why the police stated that, hey, we can't really give those types of charges due to the fact that we don't have any proof to, 100% pursue that beyond a shadow of a doubt. And I know some black people will sit up there and say, well, even when we don't do stuff, or even if we did do one thing, they'll trump up charges, make up charges, and all this other type of stuff. And you're 100% correct. We have video and audio evidence of these things taking place. We have court hearings and proceedings that have taken place where police have been put directly on the stand under oath, and they've been made to tell the truth about how it is that they trump up charges, or that they just go out there trying to, place charges or trying to harass and do a variety of things to black people in the black community. So again, I'm not stating that I'm disagreeing at all. I'm just stating the fact that more than likely they're not going to put those charges directly on those three, which means that the charges that they are going to face are up in the air, right? Because they can all take the blame for everything that happened, or somebody's going to end up being the fall guy and everybody else gets less time than the main guy. So, either which way it goes, it technically for a lot of people is going to seem quite unfair. And, that's how things are directly in life. Things are unfair. For the black experience, we can look at this and we're going to look at things historically from a historical context and be like, yo, we already know exactly what it is because these are the same things that have happened and that have taken place, time and time again. Like I said, we don't have to, for us, we don't have to explain that to each other. Right. If you know history, if you know American history, especially the worst and the ugly parts, this is right up there with a lot of those incidences and things that have taken place um, in history. Right. But like I said, I just, for the black men out here, young black men out here, y'all gotta, take care of yourselves. You gotta be vigilant. You gotta be mindful of directly where it is that you are, who is around you, who is watching you. Because at any moment in time, things like this can take place and can happen directly to you, irregardless of whatever it is that people want to say online, where they're like, oh, we're all God's children, we're just human beings, and there's no difference between, like I said, that's a nice, theory. That's a nice thing to put directly out there when you're benefiting from certain things dealing with this system and you've never had to live those experiences that black people have had to actually go through and live with and still continuously face time and time again. When you don't have to give your kids a certain type of conversation, it's very easy to sit on a soapbox and state that we are all equal. We are all one. It's very easy to say that. But like I said, you just got to be vigilant, man. You just got to pay attention. It's nothing else I can, really in a sense give you or tell you that's going to make it, you know, easier or to help you really, push through a lot of these situations because there's no exact book. There's no exact pamphlet to tell you like, hey, this is how to be a black man. This is how to survive, as a black man. Because the moment in time you figure out, the rules to the game, you figure out a way to survive, they'll sit up there and just like switch up everything. So, again, my condolences to the friends and the family of the black man who is no longer here with us.